tell you something, but it's probably close to heresy. I don't know if that's the right word or not. This is a terrible admission to make, but I have never been crazy about the song Old Man River. In fact, it makes me cringe when I hear it. It's always sung by a guy that goes, and it always sounds like a car being started up on a cold morning.
ジョン・ハートフォードはセントルイスで育ち、今はナシュビルに住んでいます。夏になるとリバーボートを操縦し、船の上で歌います。彼は川の暮らしと音楽の生き字引です。
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch.And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and ink stains that have dried upon some line. It keeps you in the back roads with the rivers of my memory that keeps you ever gentle on my mind. A lot of my early songs had a lot of words in them, and the words came by at a pretty good clip, like a kind of a breakdown clip. And that, of course, that's how Gentle on My Mind came about, because it was written at a time when I was writing wordy songs.When I walk along some railroad track and find that you're waving from the back roads with the rivers of my memory for hours of just gentle on my mind. I don't know how I came to sound like John Hartford. I think that style is created by limitations, and I think I do the very best I can with what little I've got, and that's how it comes out. And I haven't ever tried to manufacture anything. I just try to just sound as good as I can, and I would say that my life in music has been a steady thing of trying to teach my hands and my feet and my mouth to reproduce the sounds that I hear in my head. Now I had a teacher when I went to school. She loved the river and she taught about it too. I was a pretty good boy, but she called my bluff with her great big collection of steamboat stuff. Oh yeah. She had logbooks and bells and things like that, and she knew the old captains and where they were at. She rode the Alabama and the Gordon C. Green as the Cape Girard, as she was later renamed. But her very favorite, as you all know, was the Golden Eagle, Captain Buck's old boat. This old stern wheeler sank and went to heaven when I was in the 4th grade in 1947. This boat that I'm on, the Twilight, is probably, I would say, the fastest boat on the Mississippi River system. It has certainly the finest model hull of any boat on the Mississippi River system. But for that reason, though, she runs like a scared rabbit in deep water, but for that reason, sometimes when the water shallows out a little bit, she's a little bit hard to steer, so you really have to watch her, because she's so sensitive she'll take off on you. But the trade-off is that she's probably the fastest boat I've ever been on. I used to work real hard to get my schoolwork done, 'cause you couldn't fool Miss Ferris none. And if I went to sleep or I wasn't supposed to talk, oh, she was a dead shot with a little piece of chalk. Oh me, oh my, how the time does fly. Time in the river keep a-rolling on by. Now I'm not a student and she's not a teacher, but we both still love the Mississippi River. The real true music of the river is probably just about any kind of music that you can think of, because there were so many different kinds of people were on the river. So everybody, every class of people has their music, and of course they take it with them wherever they go. Where does an old-time riverman go after he's passed away? Does his soul still keep a watch on the deep, or the rest of the river days? Does it then come back as a channel cat, or the wasps light on the wheel, or the birds that fly through a summer sky, or the fish swimming under the keel? One of the things you have to remember is the early part of the 19th century, we had very few roads, much less highways. And so the only way that culture could really get back into the backwoods was by river. And early circuses had what they called boat shows. And most of these circuses carried a blackface minstrel act with a 5-string banjo and a fiddle. And so the backwoodsmen would hear this music. Well, they already played fiddles in the backwoods, but they didn't play too many banjos. So then they'd go and they'd make banjos out of gourds, groundhog hides, and stuff like that. And then they'd want to sing these minstrel songs, but they couldn't hardly remember them. And what few they would remember, they'd probably get it wrong. So that would be the creation of new material right there. And then for the rest of it, they'd take these old Elizabethan ballads, these old sad Elizabethan ballads, and they would sing them in double time. Like, for instance, they'd have a little Margaret was sitting in her high hall door, and they'd go little Margaret was sitting in her high hall door, and then you got what would be the ancestor music, the bluegrass, which is generally a real slow loping vocal over a 90-mile-an-hour rhythm section.
ブルーグラスはもともと南部の音楽ですが、ラジオを通して中西部にもたらされ大人気となりました。夏になれば農村地帯では毎週どこかで必ずブルーグラスフェスティバルが開かれます。熱心なファンはお気に入りのフェスティバルに毎年やってきます。
But this is the bluegrass capital of Illinois. You know, the governor of Illinois, Jim Edgar, signed a proclamation that says this is the bluegrass capital of Illinois. And he declared this as Bluegrass Days, July, the 4th weekend of every year.
We have, in the state of Illinois, I feel like we have promoted bluegrass. We're really getting the word out. We're showing them what bluegrass is. And they're coming around. And we're appreciating it, too. When you get in the jam sessions, it's strictly, these fellas are all playing their heart out there. They're not top-notch musicians by no means, but as a whole, they're just average playing musicians and enjoying.
We started this about 19 years ago. 19 years ago, there was no bluegrass, honestly. There was some up in Galesburg, way up in the northern part of the state. And we wanted to get something going. And, you know, we wanted to give the people in Illinois some good music.
My name's Bob Lewis, and I'm with the Bob Lewis Family Band. We're out of a place called Poplar Bluff, Missouri, southeast Missouri. Well, we first started doing it as fun, and then people started calling us from further off and wanting us to come and do a show for them, which we couldn't afford. So they started paying us a little bit, then a little more, then we're
pretty much got rich, right?
Yeah, we're rich.
We're back where we started. We're working for free.
Well, you may have to make this journey on without me. Sooner or later, it's a heaven could be bad. When you deep in soul is when you're thinking of me. But don't forget to tell my Savior what I said. Make chance to meet my mother and my father. Some friends whom I can't recall. You may chance to meet my brother or my father. Don't forget to see my Savior first of all. Well, you may have to make this journey on without me. Sooner or later, it's a heaven could be bad. But don't forget to tell my Savior what I say. Don't forget to tell my Savior what I say.
You know, family harmony is a little different than regular harmony. I don't know. It seems like the harmony blends together better.
Well, I think it's just, you just know how.
You've been around each other, and you know what each other's gonna do.
What you're gonna do before how you pronounce words and how you hold words out, and you just kind of do it the same because that's how you do it. You know, that's what I think.
She didn't get that on film.
Well, a long time ago, I'd never go back home. Down on the hills of Tennessee, she's a sweet spot girl that was never in this. Down on the hills of Tennessee, oh, little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know she's waiting there for me. Sundown, settle down in that little mountain town, that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Well, she begged me not to go, you be sorry, dear, I know. Oh, the way you treated me, but I rambled all around and nothing could be found. Take the place for her in Tennessee. Oh, little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little mountain town. That little girl of mine in Tennessee. Pick your joy.
Music is a great common denominator. I mean, you might find a banker playing with the janitor of the bank, the president of the bank playing with the janitor of the bank, but they're on equal terms playing bluegrass music.
I love all that kind of music, but it just, the bluegrass, there's something about playing bluegrass music that gets in your blood nowadays. We play pretty well what the bluegrass band play on stage. We do just about the same thing as far as bluegrass, and it's nothing but just old country. That's why I like it real well.
Watch your pants. On my mother's side, I'll be crucified, but on my father's side, in 3 days I'll arrive.
you know, bluegrass is Baptist and holiness, and it's country, and it's jazz, and it's played from the heart, and it's from me to you. In other words, I'm playing it the way I feel it, and I'm sharing it with you. I think that's probably a pretty good definition.